Hello, I'm Gabriel Thomas View, and this is my first YouTube video, and I'm just gonna have this as like a fucking mental note thing, because, that's just what people do nowadays to make themselves feel better about themselves or something like that, but fuck. I guess the first thing I'm gonna talk about is college. Yep, let's talk about college because I'm kind of going through something right now where, like, I'm leaning more into the side where I'm wanting to drop out, and because of that, it's like the stupidest thing ever. Like, I'm freaking out over, well, you see, I have this, it's for the fucking easiest class ever. It's college writing, right? I don't know why I'm tripping about it, but it's just, like, I have this teacher, and she, for the first, couple weeks of the class in the first semester, she gave us assignments for every week. There's an essay a week, and it's a really easy thing to do, right? But it's just, I wrote out this thing, within a class, while we were going through the lecture, and she told us what to write about, and I wrote about it, and when I showed it to her, she, didn't even read it, and this kind of told me that I did it wrong because of the fact it wasn't in the MLA format. But, I don't know, it's just, rules are rules. It's stupid rules, in my opinion, but it's just how she rocks with it, I guess. And I have all this fucking mountains of paperwork for shit that I don't even fucking care about. I feel like that's just the way I'm looking at it right now, though, because they're, it's not stupid. It's, meaning, there's meaning to these things. This is about propaganda or whatever, which is an important thing to learn about, I guess. And fucking just more bullshit, but it's just I'm on a lump right now, and I'm just trying to figure it out. And that's the thing. It's just I don't really know what I want for myself because of most of the things I've wanted are because of the fact that I was influenced by other people, and I don't know if that makes me a follower or anything like that, because of the fact that it interests me because of other people wanting to do that. Is that a concept that does that mean that I genuinely wanted to do that because of the fact that it was genuinely interesting to me, or was it because of the fact that it was others around and I just wanted to be not alone? But I guess the main reason why I went to college in the first place was because of an ex-girlfriend that I've had, and I fell way too hard for her, and it kind of went the wrong way. And before we broke up, I wanted to go to college because of the fact that she was going there, I guess. And I said, oh, I'm going to start a weed business and stuff, and move across the country to Oregon because it's cheaper there. And that seemed it's a plan, right? It's a plan that but the thing is, though, it's just my doubts. I have doubts in myself, and that shows one thing or another, where it shows that I don't know if it's no confidence or no self-esteem. I don't know if those they probably go hand in hand, but I don't know. My original plan, though, was to join the shipyard in Virginia, in Newport News, where they do ship fitting and all that kind of shit. And I have like a certificate on my diploma, like a trifold, where like have like a diploma where it opens up like this. When the trifold it opens up, and there's like a third one where it has your certificate for whatever extracurricular thing you took. And I have a welding ship fitting one, and that gives me some leeway to go into another thing like a trade, which trades are very like in demand right now in the market. And I could take advantage of that, but it's at the same time, does that mean that I'm conforming to something because of how others paint it to be, to where you're conforming to something even though that it does have good benefits over time, like for any job, matter of fact, unless if you're like a fucking fry cook or something like that. But well, not even that. You can still get like benefits from any job, unless if it's like a really terrible job, like you're working at like a smoke shop or whatever like that for all day long, and you just sit there. Like I have a cousin that did that for a while, and he's a really cool dude. But that's just kind of, that was his experience in some parts of the workforce. But it's just like I'm in a really weird crossroad situation right now where I don't know what I want for myself, and it's, I don't know, I've had so many thoughts. Like one of them, it sounds like a pipe dream thing, but maybe that's just me like dumbing it down or something like that. Like, all right, like here's 3 things that I wanted to do with myself, and I'll kind of rank them from like the safe route to more driven things, like when they kind of go for my interests. But I wouldn't really say like welding or ship fitting would be an interest. It's kind of like a useful trade to know, and it's something that you can make good money off of. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. But the first thing I wanted to do, that's, I would say, is the safe route. It's more of 2 things. It's either welding or ship fitting or mechanics. Because I have, well, for welding, I have the trifold, and I've had like 3 years plus of experience of welding and ship fitting on stick, on MIG welding, and using grinder wheels and all that stuff. But the thing is, my teacher, he never really, like, he never showed me TIG welding or any fucking crazy shit like that, or using a plasma cutter or anything like that. He just kind of left me there to like float around and do my own thing. And I just kind of, like, I got bored with it. I got burnt out because of the fact that like he didn't like show me anything. He legit just told me to go like weld. I'm like, oh, go weld. Yeah, you'll be good. And that's just what I did. And I got burnt out because of the fact that there wasn't a challenge for me. Well, he showed me different ways of welding, and like how there's like a butt weld, a lap joint, T-weld, this basic stuff like that, or like overhead, vertical weld, just like a normal where you're like just, right there, and all that. But he never showed me like the stuff that goes into welding, like how to calibrate your machine, how to work with the machine, how to change the wire, all that stuff. Like the stuff that, well, welding itself, it's a really useful trade, but in simpler ways of putting it, it's like a fancy way of like gluing things together with metal, in all honesty. Well, that's just kind of like my little head logic thing. But yeah, like it's, well, that for welding right there, that's like one little safe route thing. Or mechanics. And see, mechanics, I had a weird relationship with mechanics because of I had this job there. I had this job in Rhode Island in West Greenwich called EW Gardner Golf Carts and shit, where we worked on golf carts and other small motors and stuff. And the workplace, it was very interesting. Like there was like a lot of like interesting characters in there in the bunch. There was me, a really good buddy and colleague, Joe Oliveira, and there was my cousin Marcus, and there was two other people. There were twins, Blake and Brandon Maynard. Those guys are really cool people, man. Like I'll tell you right now, they're like they got their shit chilling. But and then there's Johnny, and there's, what was his name? Eli, and then there's Pete. And Joe, Marcus, and the boys, they were all cool people. We were the most like in sync with each other. You know what I mean? Like we all kind of were in the same level of thinking. Like we knew each other well. Like we could get each other down quickly and not have like any problems. Like we were pretty well connected with each other. But there was Johnny, who, like, every time when you would, like, I don't know, it's just me being a fucking bitch, but every time he would fucking go up to me, he'd always, like, sound like he's hounding on me and shit to get shit done, even though, like, Peter, he's not even the owner, but he basically is the owner, because the fact that the actual owner is Jim. He's old as shit and he's dying, and like he can't really run a business on his own anymore, so Pete has to like take the wheel. And Pete, man, he was just like, he was kind of a fucking nut. He was a nihilist. He only saw the monetary gain in things, and whenever like things didn't go his way or the way he exactly wanted it to, he would get all pissed off. Like this one time where we were changing the seat back of a club car, I think, and we were all going off, like splitting up, like me, Blake, Brandon, and all them folks. We legit split up to get tools and stuff to get the whole things ready, setted, and Pete walked out and he was all like, I'm gonna start cutting pay because of the fact that no one's doing anything, even though we're all split up getting our tools and stuff. And that, like, that's weird. And the thing is, though, he always would get mad at me for not doing shit because, like, for one, he never gave slips to us. Like, when it comes to a mechanic job, you have to have everything, like, you have to be very organized, in a sense that you have to have like an idea of where everything is. You need to know where all the cars are. You know what the problems are with the car. You need to have it all written out and signed off, and like it's all has to be very official, very organized thing. He didn't even have the slips, man. He legit would just like point at a car and like, hey, you on that. And he never and what he would do, after that, he would just leave it to you on your own. And he never he would never help you, he would never explain it to me or anything like that. He would just like assume that I knew what I was doing, and then he would just send me off. And it was I don't know, it was my first mechanic job, and they didn't really have good training there, but I don't know. That's just my excuse for being a shitty dude. But fuck it, it's over with. Oh yeah, back to the list. And then there was a little side thing kind of where I wanted to be like a fighter, like MMA fighter possibly, or just doing jiu-jitsu, because of the fact that in high school and a little bit after, like all throughout that thing, I was always like doing some sort of like combat sport, let it be boxing. Like I literally did like 4 years of boxing with like one of my English teachers at the time. His name is Mark Blevins. He's had over 13 years of boxing experience in Rhode Island. He was legit like that one cool teacher that was just like, he was just chill with everything he did, and he talked cool, all that. Like he was just like a genuinely cool dude, and he taught me like everything he knew when it comes to boxing and stuff. He taught me a really good low compact stance, which is kind of funny because the fact I'm like 6'2" and stuff, like you're making yourself small when you're already big. But he taught me very well. He taught me very well on how to box and the science of it, and where you put, like your footwork is, and where you put your hands at, and how you dodge, and how you weave, and how you, I don't know, just fucking box. And I did wrestling over high school. The thing is though, with wrestling, like I was always so focused on other things in life to where I was never actually focused on the actual like wrestling aspect of like, I don't know, just wrestling. And because of that, I always like fell short in what I did and like what I accomplished, because like I got varsity for 2 years, and on the first year I was varsity, I got third in JV championships, and that was a fucking bitch to fucking take in. But it was also like a learning thing, because it was like a learning moment, because of the fact that you're gonna have moments where you're not happy with what you have, and it's just your choice to get back up on the horse, to do better with yourself, and to succeed in life. And then in my last year of wrestling, where I was a varsity again, I went up one weight class to 195, and I was doing all right. But then I had problems with me and my ex, to where we broke up, all that shit. I was all like sad and bummed out and like hung over her, and it messed me up, and I didn't get to do as good as I wanted to at all. Like I don't know, like after we broke up, I had this moment to where I was like, fuck it, I'll be fine, all that, and I kind of ignored it. And then throughout I guess that was my problem, is being ignoring it, because of like over time, and when things just like kept on going, like she came back in my head, and like she just kind of never left. And it's like, it bothered me, because of like I never used that feeling of like missing someone or something like that. I never used it to like better myself. I just thought about it, and I just was always hung up on what I did wrong or anything like that, instead of just accepting the situation for what it was. And there was probably a meaning there was probably like, I don't know if whoever listens to this, if y'all have like a weird like higher power thing going on, but I don't know, like maybe there was like a higher purpose to that breakup, or maybe I'm just being nuts and just a kid. But fuck it, we ball. And then there's the jiu-jitsu thing that I'm currently continuing. Tomorrow I'm going to be hopefully I'll be going to a new gym called Squared Up BJJ in Danielson, Connecticut. It's right down the road from my house, conveniently. And I've never been there, but I'd like to see what's over there and see what it has for me. But I feel like having over 4 years of grappling experience, that definitely would help me with grappling aspects of MMA or anything like that, especially with boxing. That gives me a good stand-up portion, even though it's nothing like kickboxing or Muay Thai where you have that added range of your legs and stuff. It's still, I feel like that having a good boxing and wrestling good grappling foundation, having a good foundation in grappling is better than having, in my opinion, having a better, I feel like that can be better for certain people when it comes to fighting, because the fact that once you get them down on the ground, there's like endless possibility what you can do with them. You could again smash them while they're on bottom, or you could you could pass their guard and you can do whatever you want with them there. You could submit them, or you could choke them out, or you could just hold them there and just smash their fucking face in and win. But it's more than that. Obviously, it's a mindset thing, and it's about you not giving a fuck and just you doing what you want, because the fact that if you fail, you will not survive in the world and you will flounder. And that's just kind of a thing with me. It's just like I'm too focused on the worrying aspect of it. I'm not focused on actually like going forth with the thought. I'm more worried about the what ifs and stuff. And it's like I don't understand why I do that, because it's not happening. Like there's no negative things happening right now. It's just my head, and it's just playing games with me, and I'm letting it do that to me. And that's so like, why would I do that to myself? And could that be like a sign of me not loving myself at all, or could that mean that I don't think that I am capable of doing these things when I feel like I can? Like anyone can. I feel like that anyone, no matter what problems they have, anything like that, I feel like that anyone has the capability of doing so much more than what they think of. Like if you put like a 19-year-old, I feel like that once you add like a young age to it, it kind of like defeats the purpose of I feel like once you bring like a young person to a situation, it kind of defeats the purpose of like having different I'm trying to think of the words. I feel like it kind of defeats the purpose of having a a match thing, because the fact that because you're so young, you have so much potential to do whatever you want. Like you could be whatever you want. Like you it's a sandbox at that point. You can choose what you want. But the thing is though, once you can't just hop in and out of things. You have to stick to one thing and just go. And that's just kind of like my problem. It's just I keep on like pulling out and finding other things. Like is that a good thing? Is that a good thing to do? Because it's a good thing because I feel like it keeps my options open. But at the same time, I'm not actually like settling down on one thing to where I can say comfortably, okay, yes, this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna do whatever I can till this so-and-so thing happens or anything like that. I'm just been like, we'll see what else is out there. And I feel like it's kind of biting me in the ass because I'm 19 now. It's been 5 or 6 months since I graduated high school. And like ever since then, like even though it's only been 5 months, like it's legit, like life has been such a like it's like I'm just drifting. It's like I don't know who I am anymore. It's like it's like what everyone says about their 20s. It's like where people, it's like a fucking TV show or like a movie where you'll have these, I don't know, it's, you know what I mean with that metaphor? Like life's a movie where it has all these crazy things that happen in it, and it always ends in a nice cute little bow, like a little sitcom, and then next episode and everything starts fresh like nothing happened. And I feel like that's just kind of in my life lately. And I don't know if that's, does that mean that there's no structure in my life? Or does that mean that I'm just not caring about anything? Maybe that kind of means the same thing. But I don't know. I'm in my head right now. And but oh yeah, the third thing on the pipe dream scale, it's owning a marijuana business and cannabis business. Same thing, but I'd rather say cannabis. It's more respectful in my opinion. But yeah, I would. That's another thing I'd like to do. It's kind of funny how a couple of years back you would say, "Oh, I want to start a cannabis business," and everyone would be like, "Whoa, a little taboo there." But it's kind of funny how like a couple of years go by and everyone's view just kind of like flips because of the fact it's legal now, and you can not be seen as a crackhead smoking a fucking joint on the street, and you're like, oh, he's just smoking a joint, he's chilling. Or I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just that kind of moment where it's just like an I don't know thing. But I want to grow. I want to learn how to grow weed. I want to learn how to sell it and make myself marketable to where I can have my own little business and just, I don't know. There's a lot more to owning a business, obviously, than just selling weed. Obviously, like I feel like that when it comes to selling weed, it's either like a kid thing or like you have to know every single thing about it. And I feel like, well, that's for every business. You have to know everything about whatever you're trying to sell. And that's the thing about selling a business. Like I know about the chemical, like the science of weed and how you grow it and the conditions that you must put it in, and like what you call it, what the pH should be, and what vitamins, like that nutrients and certain elements that you put into it to make sure it grows the perfect way that you want it to under a humid environment, typically around 70 to 75 degrees, however the hell you do it. I'm not the fucking rule writer for growing pot, but it's just kind of how, that's just the environment that it likes to grow in. But yeah. But I guess that's just my top 3 things. And yeah, I don't know. That's just my life so far. And oh yeah. And fucking college. I want to drop out. Like I want to drop out, but it's just like a fear thing in my head that like if I drop out, I'm going to be a failure and my family will like think of me as a failure, and they'll be like disappointed in me, and they'll just be all like, well, we tried, but he failed. And I'm kind of scared. I'm like, an honest thing from me. It's like, I'm scared and I don't know what is gonna like come for me in the next like future or anything like that. It's just, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of scrambling between continuing college or just doing whatever the fuck I want to do, which is pretty much those 3 or 4 things. 4 if you include mechanics. Well, I guess that is 4 then if you include mechanics, but shit. But that's just me. I just wanted to record this video and just to basically just kind of let something off my chest, because I don't talk to like much of anyone outside of my house, to be honest. That happened really quick in life well, that's something I noticed really quickly. Like, besides from people telling me when I was younger, like, oh, when you graduate high school, you'll lose a lot of friends. But I wouldn't really say the people I've lost were really my friends. They were just people that I knew. But like the actual friends I've had, I never really went to high school with them because of the fact that I've known them. Like, I used to live in Virginia, and then I went to middle school in Virginia and stuff. And right before high school, I moved to Rhode Island to go to high school and stuff. And I had these two friends named Cameron and Kareem. And those dudes, they were legit with me through thick and thin all throughout, and like everything. So like for as long as I've known them, they were always chilling with me. And that's something I really like respect about them, because the fact that they're always down. They're always down to like chill and hang out and talk about life shit, or just do MMA in the woods, or just fucking goof about and play Smash Bros. You know what I mean? It's like they're good, they're reliable people. Like, they are the kind of people where I could genuinely say I trust them with anything with them. And they're off doing their own things in life, and I feel like that I'm not doing good because the fact that, well, I'm comparing my life to them, which is something I shouldn't really do. I should be only comparing myself from what I was yesterday, and or any time before that. And now that question comes, do I feel like I've been better than I was yesterday or any other point? I'd say kind of. Kind of, in a sense that I've learned the perspectives that I've had going through high school and shit, meeting people. And, well, most of the people that I met, most of the important people that I've met were not even from high school at all. Like, they were all outside of high school. Like, most of the, I don't know. It's like a lot of stuff that I realized that were just important were not important because of the fact that they were in high school, but it was important because of the fact that the lessons they've taught me about things that were way more important than some academic shit. But I don't know, that's just me right now. And right now I'm confused, scared, and kind of alone. Not really alone, but I'm like in between. But yeah, that's me. And that's my little 30-minute rant about my life and how I hate college and how I want to pursue different things, but I'm too scared to do it because I don't know what's going to happen. But leave any comments, like, subscribe if you want. I don't give a fuck. Just chill here if you want. But yeah, that's me. Bye.